Hey everybody, welcome to series 2 in recovery post a C-section. This is Paula. She's 5 weeks postnatal. She's had a C-section. So in terms of rehab exercises, we go through all this in our Birth to Fit Mum program, but I just want to show you a couple of things that we are doing with Paula at the moment at this early stage postnatal. Now, Paula's scar tissue is not completely healed on one side, so it's still a little bit sore. So again, we have to be really careful with this. Paula is managing to walk most days without increased soreness, which is what you want to watch out for, especially after a C-section. Paula's walking for around about 20 to 30 minutes. If you feel any increase in soreness, that's a really good guide as you've gone a little bit too hard, so you just need to back off. So maybe a 40-minute walk you felt sore after, but not after a 30-minute walk. So stick with that until your scar tissue is completely healed and you're not sore. So in terms of exercises, Paula's been activating her transverse abdominals for a couple of weeks now, so we've made sure that she can engage these quite well before we start to get into any movement. Her pelvic floor muscles are great, they're firing up automatically, so we need to make sure the focus for Paula with any exercise at the moment is to ensure that her transverse abdominals are switched on, which are here. And if you're not sure how to activate those, you can look in other videos of us. So we're not going to do any leg slides at the moment for Paula, which is often the first exercises that we do postnatal because this scar is still open. Okay, it's not open, it's just still sore, it's just not healed, isn't it, probably? Okay, so what we're going to start with Paula is basic hip bridges because we want to get her glutes fired up as well. So lift it, Paula. So Paula activates her transverse as she goes up and drops down. So breathing in. So exhaling on the way up, just very basic, keeping it slow, thinking about your breathing. Again, you shouldn't feel any soreness across through the scar, making sure Paula's glutes are fired up. And again, we make sure that the transverse are contracted before the lift. Okay, we'll do 2 more of those, Paula. Last one. Now, for those of you who have had a C-section, again, for around about the first 6 to 8 weeks, you need to make sure you just roll over onto your side. And we're going to keep Paula there because we're going to show you the next exercise. So you don't put any pressure on that scar tissue or on your diastasis. It's not so much the diastasis we're worried about, it's more so the scar tissue, especially if you're getting up through the night quite a lot. And Paula's up quite a lot at the moment. Okay, so the second exercise which we've showed Paula to do, again, we need to concentrate on this core and glute strength, but we don't want to do any leg slides at the moment as we're doing side leg lifts. So Paula contracts her transverse abdominals and she lifts the leg up and back here, making sure the glutes on and drop down. So just 10 reps of those. Again, making sure you have your transverse on before you move and taking the leg back. Can you feel that, Paula? You need to take it back. So make sure you bring the leg back. If you start to lift the leg up, you're going to start to work your hip flexors a little bit too hard and you'll get it sore through your quads and they'll start to dominate and not your glutes, which is what we want to strengthen. Now, Paula eventually wants to get back into running, so that's what we're looking for with all her rehab exercises over the next few weeks. So there you go, that's 2 of Paula's rehab exercises, what she's going to be doing most days now, 5 weeks after her C-section. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you all soon. Make sure you go to the website pregnancyexercise.co.nz and you can join the Birth to Fit Mum program too.